Welcome back to Xbox Corner, Luke here, and I've recently been playing a spot of Animal Shelter Simulator, a recently released Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One title which has received some very positive reviews on Steam. And so in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the game, and this is not going to be a rated review as I've only spent a couple of hours with it, but I'm going to be giving you a bit of an overview on what to expect from it in case you were considering picking it up. With that said though, drop a like if this one helps you out, subscribe for more Xbox deals, reviews and Game Pass content, and let's get into it. So before we get started, if you're thinking of picking up any new games or gift cards for Xbox or any other console, be sure to head on over to cornershop.gg and use our code CORNER to save 10% on your purchase. This not only means you're getting more for less, it also really helps us out as a channel. Now, as is usually the case with these kind of simulator games, no real storyline with this one, but the lowdown is that you get to run your own animal sanctuary, taking in neglected and unwanted dogs and cats, fixing them up and then finding them new homes to go to. It's worth noting that you are limited to our four-legged friends in this one, so just dogs and cats, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more variety on the animal front, but there's enough meat on the bones to provide an interesting enough gameplay loop. To start with though, the first port of call is setting up your shelter, which is limited in its options, but you do get to give it a name, select whether you want to start with dogs or cats, and the game has a few accessibility options giving you a choice of difficulty settings as well as an infinite money option if you're looking for some real casual play. After dropping into your compound, the game then takes you through a series of tutorials to bring you up to speed with the whole sheltering process, and these come in the form of objectives for you to complete, but the basic gameplay loop goes something like this. Accessing your computer in your office, you first select which abandoned pooch or cat you want to take on. Each of them comes with a bit of a backstory which hints about their temperaments as well as any issues they may have, and once you've committed, a van will then roll up outside and deliver them. Next, you assign them a kennel, and the dog compound houses 2 puppers and contains a spacious room for them to play in, while the cat one contains room for 6, but here's where you'll be keeping them fed and watered, monitoring their needs via handy clipboards pinned to the makeshift prisons, and letting them out every so often for a bit of a play and a stroke. Each animal comes with its own personality though, some are loud and boisterous whilst others will shy away from human touch, and it's these personality traits which determine the right kind of owner for them. After building up the trust meter by taking care of them and then taking a mugshot for the profile picture, you can then list them, identify a new owner by performing a survey and matching desirable traits, and then it's as simple as confirming the match, popping them in the back of the delivery van and then winging them off to a new loving home. You're then rewarded for your efforts with reputation, which increases your rank, unlocking new facilities and items and allowing you to expand your shelter, and the cash required to buy these things, but the better the match is, the more you'll earn. Now as the game progresses, new mechanics are introduced to up the ante and keep things interesting. On top of keeping the compound clean, which involves sweeping kennels, mopping up pee and picking up dog poop, you'll have animals which arrive in right states, caked in mud or with injuries or illnesses. In order to rectify these issues, you'll need new facilities, and the game has a fairly decent construction menu, allowing you to modify the layout of your shelter, purchase new buildings and decorations and expand your territory, but I did find it to be a little finicky. In the beginning your floor plate is pretty limited and the buildings take up a lot of room, so there's just a lot of shifting about required to fit them all in, and the buildings frequently snap back to their original positions if you don't manage to place them right, which is pretty annoying. The controls when navigating the menus are also pretty frustrating, especially on the computer where the inputs constantly change and the menus tend to bug out a bit, but it's not too bad once you get the hang of things. Anyway, the new facilities include things like a wash building where you can lather animals up, wash away that dirt and get them looking sparkly clean ready for dispatch, a clinic where you can patch them up or take blood samples to identify an illness before pumping them full of drugs, well, giving them a chewable tablet at least, and a photo room where you can dress them up and take some snaps. And each of these buildings have multiple upgrades which are locked behind ranks, so there's plenty to be working towards in terms of progression. Now on the audio and visual front, the sound effects are pretty minimal. There are some basic nature sound effects for ambience, but the most you're getting really is a variety of barks and meows. And like the rest of the gameplay, the music is comprised of some pretty chill beats to play along to. Visually, the textures look decent. There are some nice environmental details and I like the variety of breeds available, but the game in no way pushes the modern consoles to the limits, so all in all, not too bad, but nothing special either. When all's said and done though, if you're a fan of simulator games and animals, needless to say you'll probably enjoy this one. It for sure has a few of the usual frustrations with its control scheme, there's still some repetitiveness involved with the general gameplay loop, and I do think that being limited to just cats and dogs will see some done with the game sooner than they'd like, though I'm not entirely sure how many hours worth of gameplay it actually has to offer once you've unlocked and purchased all of the upgrades. In general though, it's a pretty simple and straightforward gameplay loop which, like most simulator games, feels rewarding and on the whole pretty chill, but it's deep enough to keep things interesting with the added bonus of having some cute puppers to take care of. I don't much care for cats myself, but both are fun to play around with, tossing balls around or getting them to chase laser pens, and I liked how the animals interacted with each other. In terms of the overall quality and presentation of the game though, I feel it's definitely one of the more polished sims I've played. Yes, it has its problems when it comes to the menuing and a few little bugs here and there, but in general it's really well put together and I never encountered any real big issues or game-breaking glitches. But it's a pretty chill game while it lasts, and it's bound to give you more of a warm fuzzy feeling than mowing a lawn or power washing a car would do, though who am I to judge? With that said though, are you someone who's into your simulator games, and is this one that you're going to be picking up and giving a go? If not, I'm sure we'll see it come to Game Pass at some point in the near future. As always though, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more deals, reviews and Xbox content, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks everyone, take care.